Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to North Shore Live Cooper's Corner. We're live this evening. This is March the 25th, 2015, and the day was pretty nice today. No snow, and we hope not again. We've had enough of winter. Anyway, I hope everyone is well. I hope that you are connecting with your neighbors just to make sure that everyone is good. And if anybody needs any assistance, that you are there to be able to secure whatever help they might need. As you saw from our front page, we have, as our guest this evening, Mr. Chick Baruffi, who is, or was, a Highland Park resident.
I was.
Okay. And a Highland Park graduate and Highland Park High School. And a 4.5-year stint he did in the U.S. Marine Corps in Southeast, in the Marine Corps and in Southeast Asia for 14 months. So, and a local Highland Park business owner here in Highland Park. So we would like to bring him on the program. All these years we've been doing this program live. We never even had him on the program. So without any further ado, please allow me to introduce to you my guest for this evening, Mr. Chick Baruffi.
Well, thank you, Beth.
Thank you and welcome.
Thank you so much.
Welcome, welcome.
Thank you for having me this evening.
It's my pleasure, it's my pleasure. So you've been a very busy young man here.
I don't know about young man, but I've been busy.
Well, indeed you are. So you do all these very active things. I don't know what else to say other than the fact of, because of course, once a Marine, always a Marine.
Absolutely.
We have Navy and Army in the family and Seabees, so I don't know.
Sorry, it's just not quite the same.
I know. We give you guys rides to wherever you want to go on the ships or whatever. But you know,
okay.
what can I say? You know, and that's family all the way down, all the way Navy, and then my son just decided, well, he wanted to be Army, so he was the one who did that. Anyway, you have a sporting club environment in Waukegan. It's called the GTR, and can I ask, what does that stand for?
Sure. GTR stands for Green Target Range.
And what is that?
Green Target Range is basically a shooting destination. It's a destination for shooters interested in the shooting sports of all types. We're located in Waukegan. It's a 38,000 square foot facility that encompasses the range, which is a large 22 stations in our range. We have a cafe, believe it or not.
I ate it there, I know.
You did. That's right.
It's very good.
I'm glad to hear
it. It was good.
We have a pro shop, which where we have firearm sales, new, used firearms, ammunition, accessories, large accessories supply. Training facility, and we have a members-only lounge. A little bit different from the typical gun shop and shooting range.
In what way?
Well, in many ways. We've created basically a destination that welcomes, it makes families comfortable. We bring it's a little different dynamics. Putting all of this together, the cafe, a lounge where people can come and spend time together, socialize before and after they come to the range and shoot. Mm-hmm. It's interesting dynamics. A lot of female shooters today.
Really?
Entering into the arena. Approximately 25–30% of our shooters are females.
Reason for that?
Well, back, I can quote some statistics.
Go ahead.
Back in 2011 to present, actually the first quarter in 2015, millions and millions of firearms were sold. and a startling statistic was 25%, actually a little bit higher, 28% of all of those firearms registered in the United States were registered to females. For what reason? Some were hunters. That's become more popular among the female group. Concealed carry, home protection. There's a lot of that going on. And just generally entering the sport competition and having fun. Things that we did when we were a kid, which we forgot about. Most of us have anyway.
Well, you know, there's so many things going on in the world today, and I would like to say that they're pleasing, but they're really not. They're very scary. The world today has become very violent, and self-protection is necessary.
It is necessary.
And for males and females, mugging that usually is California style or New York style, all of a sudden we're seeing on campuses here in the Illinois area. Kidnappings, terrible things. Females want to feel secure and safe. You're not able to always go with a group of girls or ladies or whatever. So if they have to go out alone at night, or those at work at very late hours, they have to take public transportation. They need to feel that they've got security. They need to feel protected. They can't wait till another passerby or a man can help them. They need to protect themselves. So from your observation as a director of this sportings club, what would you suggest that the women do? And by the way, what are your ages? Do you satisfy ages, teenagers, or middle age?
No, there's a great cross reference age-wise, but I would guess that from what I see, the females, we're talking about females right
yes.
now, ages are in the mid-20s. They're coming in on a consistent basis up into the 70s. And it's not just a female being accompanied by a significant other. Yeah. They come in, as a single person, single shooter, or in groups of 3, 4, to practice, have fun. Take a lot of. There's a lot of lessons and training that's these females are now taking. It's one thing to go out and just purchase a firearm. There's a lot of responsibility that goes with that for protection. So specific training needs to be taught to these folks that are coming into that concealed carry in the state of Illinois.
So how do they acquire that? Some young woman comes into your establishment and says, I'd like to purchase a handgun for my protection. How do they go about it? What do they have to fill out? Are there papers?
Well, yeah, understood. The first thing that they must have in the state of Illinois is a FOID card, a Firearms Owner Identification Card. Everybody that has and owns a firearm has to have that, or wants to purchase one. You have to have that FOID card. The process we go through with somebody that's new, that's interested in a firearm, purchasing it for protection, we first find out what they're looking for, what they want to use that firearm for. Depends on the stature of the woman, how big, how small she is. That helps us determine what kind of handgun might fit her best. The best thing to do is to take that female out to the range and let her try a number of firearms. What I tell her may be, perfect firearm for me may not work for her. So that's an important part. A firearm that she can handle is the proper firearm for her. That's the base beginning of our venture into firearms. We also then take her on the range. Anybody that purchases firearm from us, we have them put in some range time. We have an instructor that goes out with them, checks them out, gives them some basics, and try to analyze whether or not a firearm for protection is right for them. Everybody has different reasons to own a firearm. We see a lot of things on TV today that isn't the way things happen in real life. I think we can all agree on that.
It's Hollywood. It's Hollywood. What can I say? It's
understand.
Hollywood.
We stress some of the one of the most important things we get into is the liability that goes with owning a firearm and carrying a firearm for protection, or even in your home. People need to understand the rules and regulations that goes with it and the liability that goes with it. Really important.
It's like rules of the road, for driving.
It's more serious.
Oh, yeah.
If you're buying a firearm for protection and you're afraid to use that firearm because of lack of knowledge or whatever it might be, perhaps you shouldn't have that firearm. It can get you in trouble as well. You don't want a firearm taken away from you and used against you if you have it. So we get into a little bit of the law, the liabilities that go with it, some things that may make a person uncomfortable, but the knowledge is important. We move from there. If a person wants to continue, then we suggest they go, we take our class. We have concealed and carry classes, which is a 16-hour mandatory class. Mandatory, the state regulates that, and put them through those classes. So they learn a lot, not only how to handle a firearm safely, how to use it, how to clean it, how to disassemble it. Then we get into law aspect. And we, at GTR, have a state representative come down and teach about 3 hours of law. This particular person has worked on and helped develop some of the curriculum that governs us and our carry and conceal permits.
Is that just for Illinois, or is that federally?
This is just for Illinois.
Okay.
We also roll over into other state carry and conceal classes like Utah, Arizona. If you have both Utah and Arizona, in addition to Illinois, you're probably covering a good part of all of our states. Illinois is last holdout, as we all know.
And we know that.
Yeah, we don't have to go into that. But so there's a lot that goes into buying a handgun for protection, for personal protection, inside the home, outside the home. So there's just a lot to learn.
Well, I think it's a great equalizer if you've got a woman that is home alone in the middle of the night, and you have an intruder, and he's 6 foot whatever, he certainly is no match against a 38 or a 45 or a 9mm if she's got that, and if she's trained how to use it. So that's her height.
Right.
So,
the state recognizes the woman as the weaker sex, and they take that in consideration when a female is protecting herself against an intruder, or when there's fear for her life. Firearms are used as a last resort.
It's deadly force, sure.
Absolutely. When you're confronted, first thing you try to do, avoid obvious things. You don't go in certain places.
Sure.
But when you are confronted, you have three options. You can freeze, like many people do. You can flee, if that's a possibility. You want to get out of Dodge, get away from it, get away from it all, or you fight. If there's no other option, you fight, and that's when training, proper training, comes in, and your knowledge of what the laws are and so on. Training is important. We can take you through all of these lessons and teach you how to shoot. It's practice afterwards. It's all about muscle memory. Muscle memory is perishable. So if you consistently and constantly practice, you're going to get better, because things happen not in minutes, but in milliseconds. So you have to learn how to respond to, and the situations are always different. We know that.
For sure, for sure.
When you're confronted like that, there's adrenaline dumps.
Oh.
Things change, the dynamics change. So hopefully the decision is right. So we go into all of those laws, those rules, those regulations, and then the qualifying of the student extensively.
And how long does it take for the
a concealed carry class is a 16-hour course.
Okay.
Basically, it's 2 8-hour days, and we have quite a bit of range time.
Now, for our viewers, they don't know what you're saying regarding range. They think you go out into a field. It's right there on the premises.
It's right on the premises.
It's enclosed. You're right there.
It's all enclosed. It's highly advanced range, well lit. You've been in our facility.
Yes.
It's a beautiful facility. There's nothing like it in the Midwest. So we take those people and train them properly. You know, you asked me a question, or referring to a woman that was confronted, and a 9mm or a 45 or whatever is could be the answer to keeping her safe. If you look at statistics, and anybody can go on the FBI website, and it's full of statistics, the states that enacted concealed carry, the violent crimes had dropped considerably. Amazing. And it's happened in Illinois as well. As an example, if you've got this little old lady walking down the street with a purse, and there's a bad guy out there that may want to confront her, isn't he going to think a little bit more? She could be armed. It makes a difference. Bad guy doesn't want to get hurt.
No, probably wants to snatch the purse, but she won't let go.
So,
or she's carrying it on her person and not in the purse.
That's right. But it's taken the there's a lot of guessing now. They
want to take a chance.
Why take a chance and get hurt? So violent crime has dropped considerably, which is a good thing, and that's happened throughout the whole United States.
Now, is anybody coming forward to make that statement other than yourself? I mean, where are all these wonderful politicians who, by the way, do conceal carry? They conceal carry, and they have been for years.
For years.
When Morton Grove was the first one to say that no guns were allowed in Morton Grove, do you not know that the mayor of Morton Grove at the time always kept a handgun by his side, always had a handgun. Nobody else was allowed to have one, but the mayor could carry one. Now, why is that?
Oh gosh, if I only knew. But you have the media today; they're still bashing honest gun owners.
I saw that on the cable today. Yeah.
If they banned firearms for all of us, do you think that would stop the bad guys from getting firearms? They would be the only ones that have firearms. It's ridiculous.
The criminal element will always find a way.
Absolutely.
It's the law-abiding citizen that goes and is fingerprinted, mugshot, whatever you have to do to be able to abide by the rules, the regulations, so that they are finding, they're doing the right thing. And the criminal has a mugshot and a rap sheet longer than as tall as you are.
Absolutely. Canada, I don't know, it's 2-3 years now, banned firearms throughout the country. England did the same thing, Great Britain. They created a monster. Canada is thinking about repealing that law. They've created so many bad elements in their country. It's just created a black market for firearms.
Sure.
Crime has gone off
Who
the
says
charts.
crime doesn't pay?
Yeah.
Crime does pay because people pay for these Saturday night specials. They secure guns or whatever mechanisms that they need for theft, robbery, breaching homes, whatever they have to do. They're not interested in giving their fingerprints or their ID or their driver's license. They probably don't even have a driver's license. They've stolen the car to be able to commit the crime.
They don't care.
They don't care.
They're not going to follow the rules that we follow.
No.
And that's what we're confronted with. You still have the media pushing gun control. Even today, it's as strong as ever. It's coming from the big guys in the White House, all the way down. It's a sad.
I don't know how we would be able to manage if we did not have police protection, truly, because John Q. Public out there is assuming, and never assume, that he's protected 24/7 because the security in the police department will protect him. But as you see, that fellow who broke into the White House made it all the way in to I don't know what floor and wanted to, whatever he wanted to do, I don't know. But it was not something that I think was going to present to the First Lady with a bouquet of flowers. So, where was the security at the time? However, people feel safe to know that security is there. So everybody leaves their guard down because security is there. But in today, and this was just a couple of months ago, but today, as we speak, March the 25th, 2015, we don't want to make it the Wild West, but we want to protect ourselves. And depending on who your next door neighbors are, you could have Bonnie and Clyde living next to you, or Babyface Nelson not knowing, who your neighbors are.
Let's hope not.
People come and go. I mean, it's not like, can I borrow a cup of sugar over the back fence anymore?
Yeah, it certainly has changed, from the days we grew up. And the police departments today they're overtaxed. Many of the smaller municipalities don't have the funds to get proper training. I mean, we see it all the time because our facility is full of police departments, and it's sad to see some of these guys having to come in and fend for themselves. Guys that want higher education, higher training, and they have to do it themselves. They don't have the funds to do it.
Now, Mayor Motley, did he not, praise your establishment because
Mayor Motley was unbelievable. In fact, all of his staff in Waukegan were tremendous. We went through, just like everybody else does, all of the council meetings, the judicial, the zoning, the public, and we had nobody
to oppose you?
Oppose us.
Really?
Right.
Well, that's a feather in your cap.
We were really amazed. They welcomed us there and still do. It's a great group of guys.
Because you are a form of safety and security for, for the area. I mean, please let it be understood. I mean, there's no area that's completely free of crime, but there's a lot of gangs. There's a lot of gang warfare, not necessarily perpetrated on the people, themselves, but on the gang members. One side, the east side, fights with the west side, fights with the north side, the south side pops in, or I don't know what their names are, but whatever their names are. I mean, everybody wants to protect their territory.
Right.
And evidently, Mayor Motley realizes that you are protecting his territory in Waukegan, as long as he knows that police officers come to your establishment to be able to hone their abilities to, their skills, right. Absolutely.
Right. And yeah, they've done a great job for us, and we welcome all of the police officers. In fact, we contact many of the municipalities, the police departments in the area, and welcome them to GTR. There's many times we do a lot of training with those fellows, just to make sure that they get ratcheted up a little bit higher than what they're able to do.
How far away do the officers come from, and what's the distance? What's your logistics?
Well, we have officers come from Chicago.
Really? They come out to Waukegan from Chicago?
No, from Waukegan to Chicago. We have a lot of high-end trainers. We use those fellows range from basic instructors all the way up to law enforcement and SWAT instructors. We have a group of police department officers from Kenosha County that are coming down to frequent our facility. So we have a lot of police officers, and all in between.
Really?
Yeah.
Now, you say you've got 22 lanes, and people, I think, just are feeling that this is just for handguns, but you've got capabilities, and you've established the availability for long guns, which would be rifles and shotguns.
Correct. And shotguns. Yes. So we're not limited to just pistols,
yeah.
but like you said, long guns and shotguns throughout the facility. 22 stages in our 22 lanes. Very, very sophisticated equipment. It's the latest equipment available to ranges. It also includes high-tech lighting. Our facility is all lit by LEDs.
Yeah.
So we can see the targets anywhere from a few feet all the way up to 75 feet.
Is that the length of the...
Yeah, the length of it is 25 yards, 75 feet.
Yeah.
And the filtering system, of course, you have to have a ventilation system.
Sure.
We spend a lot of money putting in the ventilation system that we have. It's an on-demand type of system, which means that we have air is pre-filtered, and when you're breathing it, even after you shoot your rifle or pistol, you're breathing 99.97% filtered air, sometimes better than what we're breathing outdoors. Outside,
when a car starts, that'll be terrific. The shooters, do they have to pick up the shells, or can they reuse their shells, or do you require them to?
No, we give them that option. It's a good question, because there's a lot of shooters, especially competition shooters, and we do a lot of competition shooting, that reload their own ammunition for specific reasons. They get more accuracy,
their weight
and recoil and so on. But a lot of it is just left there. What we do is we reprocess that ammunition. We have it sorted and sent out to an ammunition manufacturer.
They clean it, they melt it?
They clean it, they reload it for us.
Okay.
And we buy it back from them and use it as range ammunition. So it's less expensive than new commercially reloaded ammunition. very accurate. It just helps everybody and promotes obviously more shooting.
Sure.
For the general public. It works wonderfully well. So that's our green tip bullet. Everything we have is green. Yeah,
sure.
Environmentally.
Yeah, that's terrific.
Yeah.
Any politicians that happen to pop in there? I mean, you don't have to say directly, but if you feel that
we have federal judges. We have.
Oh, really?
Yes, we do. We have a lot of politicians that that pop in. I don't know if I should mention any.
You don't have to mention them by name, but as long as we know that they know that we know that they know.
We have several that come in at our friends, and it's just a welcome sight to have them walk in the door and applaud what we're doing, what we're trying to do.
Well, and they shouldn't stand in your way.
Not at all.
You know, in any type of legislation, because the public, I think, is getting a little tired of being told what to do, how to do, when to do, but nobody's looking out for their safety to do. They have to look out for themselves, and if that's the way it has to be, and we have confirmation by the Constitution that says we can do that, then why not do it? You know, it's just the way it's got to be, Chick.
Well, it's the way it's got to be, but you know, as you know, it's been a long, hard pull. We have so many fence sitters.
I know.
I call them fence sitters.
Yeah, they don't know this way.
Depends how the wind blows. You know what works for them, and it's sad. That's what, you know. We could go on a political issue here quickly and probably take up three
days.
Sessions.
We'd be at 3 days here.
Oh my gosh! Yeah.
But the recording is only for an hour, so we.
But yeah, it's just a long, hard pull, and it's something that we can't give up on.
No.
You can't become complacent, because there's people out there right now willing to take and dissect that Constitution that we have, which they try to erode by the minute, by the year.
No, that can't be.
I had one of my boys ask me, you know, when they're 16, they tell you, Dad, this is not going to happen to me, and I'm not doing it that way. No. You know. And a few years back, one of my older boys, I said, are you going to vote? Make sure you vote. And he says, you know, what's the use, Dad? What's the use? It's going to go their way anyway. And then the next election came up, and he said to me, Dad, what's going on? What is going on with this country? I said, get out and vote. We need to vote.
Yep.
That's your voice. You know, masses are strength.
Yeah, one vote can carry it. One vote.
Absolutely. So it was interesting.
Made a difference, didn't it?
They see, and the young people are seeing what's going on. You know, they're a lot smarter than what we were. Certainly what I was, and they're much more aware. All the electronics, all the technology we have today.
21st century, sure.
Exactly right.
You know, this is when Dick Tracy from the comic strips, from the comic strip used to use used to use his they have it.
That's right.
They have it now. I mean, they use it. They have it, and this was what 40 years ago.
Right.
You know, so things do come through to fruition. It just takes time.
Right.
And the right time. Timing is everything. Location, 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 time, and the right person to step in that area, that arena at the right time, that's the one that'll take us all home to the right location and do the right thing. I think this country is waiting for that, Chick. We are waiting. We are breathlessly waiting.
More so than ever.
Yes, absolutely.
People are tired of this.
I'm totally not happy about the situations. You know, I'm a mother that two of my children went off to war. Thank God they came back all in one piece. Some a little emotionally shook up, but spent time in Iraq, and the other one was in Guatemala, and then Egypt, and one 8 years, the other one 13 years in the armed forces. And there are other mothers that were not fortunate as I was to have their sons come back standing up, walking, and talking. Those poor mothers, I feel so heartbroken. I'm the mother of 7 children, and these 2 of my 3 sons decided to go into the service. Unbeknownst to me, we had no idea. But they just went, they signed up. One was right after 9/11. David went right after 9/11, and Randy was, I think he was before that, because he was in 13 years, David was in 8 years.
We thank him for serving.
And absolutely we do. And, I notice that you do work for veterans, and I sit on the advisory board for veterans out of Lake and McHenry County, and anything we can do to help them to live a good life, because these are young men and women who've given up their abilities, their freedoms to go there and fight a war that really, they're in a foreign country. They don't speak the language. They don't know what's going on. And when they come back here, America does not do anything to service them or provide for them. And a gentleman was just here a couple of weeks ago, and we talked about the veterans, and I said, what can we do? Tell me what we can do. I'll put it on the air, whatever is, whatever you need.
What an injustice to these
yes,
men and women.
Because they are, unfortunate with what happened with their lives. And Tammy Duckworth, I'm really so proud of her. She's not in our district. She's in the 8th Congressional. Correct. But she lost 2 legs and part of an arm. She was a helicopter pilot, and she's, I hope, going to be running for Congress or the Senate. She's running somewhere. And I think those that have given the service and not necessarily the full measure of their life to America should be applauded and lauded, and given ability to say, I was there on the front. Now I'm going to show you, the people here in Illinois or wherever they're out of, what my experience was and is, to be able to tell you what the right way to go is. And they should be given an opportunity.
Absolutely.
And it says here that you work with the veterans and other military that are handicapped and have special needs for shooting salts, because they still do shoot?
They still love it as sport, many of them. So what we did when we designed our range, our shooting range, we made the booths handicap accessible. Our whole building is handicap accessible, by the way. We have elevators.
For the ADA, yeah.
So that we can get a wheelchair, if need be, into a station. And we have a highly trained safety officer that goes out with those folks, and to make sure everything is safe. And it's really heartwarming to see that. They're so appreciative.
I know that they are. I know that they are.
It's wonderful that we can do something for them. And we have we take care of them in a special way also when they come in. We do just a high number of military personnel. Those that are not handicapped, as well as just folks that are coming in from all over. We had a colonel last night. We had a little tournament going, a shooting tournament, and the colonel had just come back from Afghanistan, and I got an email this morning from him. He said he had such a great time. He says he said it was just a far cry from coming back from Afghanistan, what he witnessed there to what he witnessed last night. It was just fun. It's just heartwarming when you hear things like that.
Well, he feels secure. See, there we're going back to the safety issue. Secure, safe. He's on his home turf. He's in America, and he knows that he'll have safety.
He actually placed second in the match. This was his first match, and he
Really?
was just ecstatic. And second place winner received a full membership, which I didn't know he had already purchased.
Oh my!
So what we did is we upgraded him and to a silver membership, which gave him a lot more time to shoot and different discounts throughout the facility. But he was just a happy camper and looking forward to coming back. It's just great. See that.
Well, you know, you've got shooting gear, you've got shoes, you've got
sure.
Jackets, sweaters, pants, slacks, socks. You have even. I took a look at, and I could not believe. I mean, this is the entire, wardrobe that someone to be able to do a good job if they were
exactly
going to be there.
And we have more coming. We're just ramping up. We've been open, I don't know, 2-3 months, maybe not even 3 months yet. So we're filling in our stock. It's
well, if you were a golf shop, you'd have to have everything that the golfer would need. And
absolutely.
now you have everything that the shooter would need.
That's what we're trying for.
That's excellent. That's excellent.
Yeah, we see a lot of kids come in, a lot of families, youngsters.
Yeah.
5-6 people in a family come in. It's like I said, it's heartwarming.
And I think we should let the viewers know that you can sit behind a bulletproof glass while you are watching your significant other or son or daughter, husband, whatever, training, whatever, and you could sit there and watch. They have stools. It's a bar and with bar stools that you can hike you up. That you could see that, or you could sit in the lounge chairs. The couches are very comfortable. Nice leather couches, very, very nice. And have a sandwich from Frankie's shop.
Frankie's Cafe.
He has very good sandwiches. Right. Or you could have, cold, drink.
Soft drink.
Or you could have the coffee. What is the?
Cappuccino.
Cappuccino. Oh, yeah, it's so nice, very nice.
Absolutely.
It's really a very fun place to go. People might be frightened because they say, "Oh, the guns." Your ears, you have, of course, the muffs, the ear muffs that you wear, so to protect your ears. But you get used to it, and it's a learned exercise like riding a bicycle. Once you learn, you never forget. And if you have something in your hand, be prepared to use it and don't falter, because it could cost you your life if you do. But be prepared to know if that's the time to use it. Very important information. My father used to tell that to me. He said, this is something that you don't play with. And if you do use it, be prepared to use it, fire it, only in the need to protect yourself.
Yes, that's correct.
And so my father used to sleep with his .45 with a 12-inch barrel under the pillow. It's a wonder he never blew my mother's head off. But it was huge. It was just huge. And Smith & Wesson, just a huge gun. You could barely lift it up. It was like a cannon, huge. But we knew it was there. We never touched it. I'm the youngest of 3, but we never, my brothers never went that route to play around with it.
Really important.
Because he said to us, and if Father said, don't touch it, we did not touch it. We didn't, play games with it. This was a situation that you don't play games with. We were a most unusual family. We never smoked. My dad was a smoker, but my brothers and I didn't smoke, not until after they got into the service, into the Navy. And just my older brother did really light the cigarette and smoke it. My other brother just put it in his mouth to look.
So you didn't have to do the extra duty.
Yeah, so he felt it was okay,
Right.
but he didn't really smoke, and he was a dentist, so, but never smoked, and it didn't do anything for me. We were in a fire at a very young age, so smoke terrified me to begin with. Why would I want to puff that in my face?
Lungs,
yeah, who would want that? No. Had to be carried out by firemen, so I wasn't
Do you do that on purpose?
the right age. No, he's just a little kid, but I got to find that guy. He's around somewhere. I don't know where. But after 50 years of marriage, I don't know. I don't know how old he is already, but.
It's interesting because on a weekly basis, I'll get families in. I'll get a mother in.
Yeah.
The dynamics have changed. Now that Illinois has a concealed carry law.
Reluctantly.
People have sort of come out of the woodwork.
Oh, yeah.
Okay? It's maybe it's okay because the state says it's okay. Maybe it's okay to have a firearm.
Yeah.
Maybe it's okay to get a concealed carry. So what we do, this is wonderful. On a weekly basis, we'll get a family in. I'll always get asked. I've got a couple of kids. One's 8, one's 12 or 13, whatever. They've expressed some interest in shooting. I'm deathly afraid of guns. I've never allowed any guns in the house, but things are changing. So I thought we'd give them the opportunity. Do you have somebody that can give them a general idea? And of course, that's a cue for me because I love teaching, especially little guys.
Kids, yeah.
And what I'll do, just as an intro, I'll take those kids upstairs in our classroom, and we'll do a safety briefing. We'll spend some time. And I explain to the families, when these kids were little toddlers, you teach them not to run with a pair of scissors or not to stick their fingers in a socket.
Sure.
It's the same thing because chances are in their lifetime they're going to be confronted.
Sure.
There's going to be a gun somewhere.
Right.
What do you do in case of that? So we go through that whole routine and try to educate the kids. Then we take them downstairs and we give them a little training session for 15 minutes, a half hour, and so on. We love to volunteer that, and they either like it or they don't.
Yeah.
Maybe it's not made. It's
not for them.
It's not for them.
Yeah.
But it's a great way. At least they'll have the knowledge of what they should or shouldn't do. Keeping that gun downrange, the muzzle always in a safe direction, finger off the trigger. The stuff that we've all been taught. Maybe that will save somebody from getting hurt.
Well, it's not going to take the place of baseball. That's the first thing.
For sure.
Or for football or hockey. But if they plan to go into the military, or if they've been playing with the I don't know what's
the airsoft.
Yeah, they're whatever they've got now that goes on TV. The joysticks. I don't know. My grandson is familiar with all that stuff.
Way beyond me.
I don't know how to do that. But this gives them the ability to be able to actually feel in their hand the element of what they're using, while they're just looking at the TV and saying, hey, this is TV, but everybody that they shoot gets up and walks away. But the reality is, when you hold the real item in your hand, and if it has to be used, you have to use that with the utmost of care and speciality, because if you use that and pull the trigger, That person may not get up.
Exactly right.
I mean, that's the end of life. That is for that person. And for someone to be able to carry that because it was a joke, they thought it was going to be cute, that's going to be very hard for them to carry that for the rest of their life.
It'll be the worst day of their life.
If it is for their safety and they have to shoot, that's bad enough. But they're safe.
They're safe, but that will still be the worst day of their life.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Absolutely. There's so many different ramifications that come out of what we call a clean shoot, where the use of deadly force was justified.
Yeah.
It's still a horrible thing, taking anybody's life, a bad guy or not. Obviously, you want to walk away from it, or your loved one, you want to walk away from it. But there's just so many tentacles out there that will affect you for years to come. It'll come from neighbors and friends and even family members.
Sure. Yeah.
The liability, should that happen, you're going to be sued first criminally, and if it's a clean shoot, and certainly civilly. Yeah, for sure. We know all about that.
Well, you've given a lot of information here, and we want to tell our viewers that if you're in the Waukegan area, you can find GTR Sporting Club, very easy, and get on your GPS, everything at these initials now.
That's right. You're getting there.
Yeah, and you can find it, and it will be good, and you'll enjoy yourself. And there's right here is the website, GTRsports.com. It gives you all the information you need to know, and they've got tryouts. They've got you've got things that they can participate in.
We have leagues, we have training, and just any number of things.
Everything. Safety is the main issue.
Is the issue.
Safety is always, and no matter what, even in driving, safety is the issue.
For sure.
Safety with whatever you do, even in your house, safety is the issue. Make sure you lock your doors. Always lock your doors.
Always.
Yeah, someone can come in the house, but if you don't have the lock on the door, that's still not breaking and entering. Because the door was unlocked, they can come in. When they have to break in, that's breaking and entering because the door is locked. Be safe, lock your doors, lock your windows. And remember to watch us on YouTube. And our wonderful Vic Walter, who is there. There you go, Vic. Here's the YouTube, youtube.com/North Shore Live CC, Cooper's Corner. Vic does a wonderful job. He's a super guy. Highland Park should be very happy they have him. Vic and I go back many years. We've been doing this program. So anyway, and I mean lots of years, even though I'm just 18 then.
Understood.
Yes, that's good. Thank you for saying that and corroborating that. Thank you. Okay. Is there anything else that we would like to bring up to the attention of the public? Because this is now going to be a #1, not only sport, but a #1 safety issue for self-preservation, protection, home protection, whatever you want to call it. And, something you want to tell the public?
Well, I'm sure that there's just so many questions that need answering, especially people just getting either into the sport or concerned about concealed carry, personal protection. My suggestion is give us a call. I've got a staff that's more than happy to help out. Call me. I'm always available. I make myself available. And hopefully we can answer questions or invite you in and try it out.
And for veterans as well. I mean, you're...
Oh, absolutely.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, you're a veteran.
I'm a veteran.
Marine veteran. And any veterans that are out there that are looking for to have some time shooting on the range, they could contact you, and you could give them.
We have a lot of veterans come in, and we have some leagues. We have some shooting leagues.
It's like a bowling league.
Absolutely.
This is another fun sport.
We have civilians. We have military. We have police officers that come and participate on a weekly basis. It's just a ball. It's fun. It's safe. I go back to that muscle memory. The more you do it, the better you get, and that's what it's all about. And the camaraderie.
Always good.
Always good. We meet such a great group of people. Lots of fun. You're going to come down and shoot with us?
Sure.
All right.
Sure, I will. Absolutely. I always give them my Foyt card upstairs. It's good for 10 years. Why not use it?
Why not?
Okay. Okay. I'm game. Absolutely game.
Just so you don't outshoot Ken.
Well, he's got a lot more years on me than, so I give him.
Oh boy.
That's okay.
That's another story.
But I can't wait for you to have a first year
anniversary.
Yeah, that's going to be wonderful.
Well, we haven't even had our open house yet.
Oh, that's even better yet.
So we're gathering up all of our distributors and manufacturers and preparing for that. That'll be quite an affair.
Event. Oh, nice.
Yeah, we'll probably have to spread outside to tents and so on.
That'll be nice.
That's going to be a big one.
Well, as long as the weather is good, and we don't have any more snow.
Oh my gosh! No more snow, please.
No more snow. No more snow. By the way, your driveway is very good there because it's always clean, and even though it snows, you can always pull in and you can pull out. There's not a problem.
Listen, what shooting range have you gone to that has valet service?
Now that's a good question. No,
GTR does.
We used to go to Carpentersville, and the Plinking Pond. I remember that. Well, I hear the music. I don't know if you hear the music, but I hear the music.
I hear it.
Yeah, that's my cue. So I hope that you enjoyed this evening's program. It was really joyous for us. Have a pleasant evening, very safe week, and see you next week on North Shore Live, Cooper's Corner. And all I can say is that this gentleman is a veteran, and we should give him the respect and all veterans of the opportunities that they've given up to be able to protect America and keep her strong. Thank you for watching. See you next week. Have a pleasant evening.